Ever wondered why your favorite K-drama actor suddenly disappeared? From illicit affairs to shocking scandals, the answers are more surprising than you think. Let's dive in. 12. Koo Hye-sun.
너! 넌 인간에 대한 최소한의 예의라는 것도 없냐?
Best known as the unforgettable Gyeom-jeon-D in Boys Over Flowers, many expected Koo Hye-sun's career to skyrocket alongside her co-star Lee Min-hee, but she carved her own path instead. Rather than chasing one drama role after another, she shifted her focus to creative projects, directing indie films, publishing books, painting, and even releasing her own music. Then came a chapter that felt straight out of a K-drama itself, her whirlwind marriage to actor Ahn Jae-hyun. What started as a fairy tale romance turned into one of the most publicized divorces in Korean entertainment. On the acting front, her last project was the weekend series You're Too Much with Jong-hyun. She only appeared in the first 6 episodes before stepping down due to health reasons, but Koo Hye-sun has never been one to stop reinventing herself. She graduated summa cum laude from Sungkyunkwan University in February 2024 with a bachelor's degree. And soon after, she was accepted into KAIST's prestigious School of Science Journalism for a master's in engineering. To put it in perspective, KAIST, one of Korea's toughest universities, has an acceptance rate of just 14.9% for local students and 13.2% for international applicants, and it consistently ranks among the very best universities in the country. 11th Park, Yoochun. Remember when Park Yoochun was everywhere? With hits like Sungkyunkwan Scandal, Rooftop Prince, and The Girl Who Smells, he wasn't just a K-drama favorite, he was one of the biggest names of his era. But in 2019, it all came crashing down after he was convicted in a meth case. The fallout was massive. Endorsements gone, projects scrapped, and Yoochun himself standing in front of cameras at a tearful press conference, swearing he'd retire from the entertainment industry for good. But the headlines didn't stop there. In December 2023, his name surfaced again when he was officially listed by the Korean government as a habitual high-value tax delinquent, reportedly owing around $2.9 million across 5 unpaid cases. And yet, Yoochun hasn't completely disappeared. Instead, he's been working quietly overseas, picking up small-scale projects in Japan and Thailand, including a Japanese documentary that explored his life after the scandal. On Bae Yong-joon.
유준아, 미안해.
If you were around for the first big Hallyu wave, you definitely know the name that turned winter into a full-blown phenomenon, Bae Yong-joon of Winter Sonata. At his peak, he wasn't just a heartthrob, he was a cultural force, often credited with sparking the second Korean wave and carrying it deep into Japan and the Philippines. For a while, it felt like Bae Yong-joon was untouchable, destined to reign on primetime forever. But here's the twist. Instead of chasing endless lead roles, he shifted paths. After The Legend, the actor quietly stepped out of the spotlight and turned to business and producing. He built his own entertainment company, mentored rising stars, and helped shape the industry from behind the curtain. And then, life took a gentler turn. He married actress Park Soo-jin, started a family, and traded in red carpets for a quieter, more private lifestyle. These days, he surfaces only on rare occasions. No flashy comeback tours, no endless variety appearances, just a life lived deliberately away from the frenzy. 9. Lee Jong-hyun.
나는 온달이라.
온달?
Lee Jong-hyun wasn't just CN Blue's guitarist and vocalist. He was also carving out a steady acting career with roles in A Gentleman's Dignity, Orange Marmalade, and My Only Love Song. With his Idol fame and consistent drama appearances, he looked like one of the promising idol actors of his generation. But everything came crashing down during the Burning Sun scandal, one of the biggest controversies in K-entertainment history. The scandal exposed a network of idols and celebrities caught up in illegal hidden camera footage and group chats. Lee Jong-hyun's name surfaced for exchanging messages with Jung Joon-young, where he had viewed illicit videos and joined in degrading conversations about women. The backlash was swift. Headlines exploded, endorsements disappeared, And just as the controversy was starting to quiet down, he faced renewed criticism for inappropriate DMs he sent to a YouTuber. That sealed it. Jong-hyun left CN Blue, and his acting career froze overnight. Unlike some stars who attempt quiet comebacks or pivot to overseas projects, Lee Jong-hyun has kept an extremely low profile since. No new dramas, variety shows, or music releases. 8. Lee Seo-won.
아무것도 기억을 못해요. 자기가 누군지도 모른다 하고 집도 모르고 경찰서 가자고 하면 싫다고 그러고.
For a while, Lee Seo-won looked like one of the freshest faces to watch out for in the K-drama industry. With roles in youth dramas like Uncontrollably Fond and The Liar and His Lover, plus hosting gigs on shows like Music Bank, it seemed like the industry was grooming him for bigger things. But in 2018, everything came to a screeching halt. Seo-won was accused of harassing a female celebrity and threatening her with a knife while intoxicated. Reports said he tried to force unwanted physical contact, and when the victim attempted to call her boyfriend, the actor allegedly pulled a knife in anger. The case quickly made headlines, and he was dropped from ongoing projects, including the drama About Time and his hosting duties. By late 2018, Seo-won had pleaded guilty. He enlisted for mandatory military service while still on trial, and his case was eventually moved to military court. After that, he completely disappeared from television and film. No quiet comeback, no low-profile overseas gigs. Just gone. 7. Park Hye-soo.
선배, 저 선배한테 뽀뽀 한 번만 해봐도 돼요?
Park Hye-soo looked like she was on track to become one of K-drama's next big leading ladies. After charming audiences in Hello, My 20s, and headlining Introverted Boss, she carved out a niche for herself with that warm, relatable charm. The kind of actress who could pull off both laughs and swoony romance. Exactly what K-drama fans love. By 2021, she was gearing up for her big breakthrough with Dear M, a campus romance hyped as the next must-watch drama. But just before its premiere, everything fell apart. Hye-soo was suddenly swept into school bullying allegations. She denied the accusations, and some fans came to her defense, but the backlash was instant and unforgiving. Dear M was pulled from broadcast, her upcoming projects evaporated, and Hye-soo disappeared from the spotlight almost overnight. Since then, she's been stuck in a kind of professional limbo. No dramas, no mainstream appearances, just the occasional social media update to remind fans she's still around. For now, her career remains paused, leaving many to wonder what might have been if she hadn't been caught in the storm. 6. Han Ga-en.
누구십니까?
When people talk about the most beautiful faces in K-drama history, Han Ga-en's name always comes up alongside Kim Tae-hee and Jun Ji-hyun. With her porcelain features and graceful aura, she was one of the original visual queens of the 2000s. Her rise was dazzling. From Witch Yoo-hee to the cultural phenomenon Moon Embracing the Sun, where she starred opposite Kim Soo-hyun, she became a household name. That drama pulled in ratings over 40%, and the very same year, she headlined Architecture 101, a film so beloved it's still considered a modern classic. At that point, it felt inevitable. Han Ga-en was set to reign over both TV and film for years. But just as she hit her peak, she chose a quieter path. Married to actor Jong-hyun since 2005, when she was only 23, Han Ga-en gradually stepped back after 2012. Behind the scenes, she went through the heartbreak of multiple miscarriages before welcoming 2 children in 2016 and 2019. Though she has resurfaced from time to time, like in the 2018 thriller Mistress and on variety shows with her husband, her life today is far removed from the relentless spotlight. Han Ga-en didn't fade away. She simply redefined what happiness and success meant for her. And in doing so, she remains admired not just as an actress, but as someone who chose peace, love, and family over pressure and fame. 5. Kim Hyun-joong.
민폐는 그쪽도 안 많지 않아. 시끄러워서 잘 수가 없잖아.
If you've been a fan of K-dramas long before it was a mainstream genre or one of the streamed genres on Netflix, chances are you have fallen in love with this actor. After stealing hearts as Yoon Ji-hoo in Boys Over Flowers and leading Playful Kiss, he wasn't just another drama star, he was the face of second-generation Hallyu. His boyish charm and soft-spoken charisma made him one of Asia's most recognizable leading men. But his story took a sharp and messy turn. In 2014, Hyun-joong was accused of assault by his then-girlfriend, sparking a scandal that dragged on for years with accusations, lawsuits, countersuits, and endless tabloid coverage. Even when parts of the case were later disproven in court, the damage to his public image was already done. Add in his mandatory military service during that time, and his once unstoppable momentum came to a halt. When he returned, the industry's reception was lukewarm at best. He attempted comebacks with smaller projects like When Time Stopped and a Japanese drama, Indian Detective, but the mainstream K-drama spotlight never fully welcomed him back. These days, Kim Hyun-joong has shifted his focus almost entirely to music and live performances, especially in Japan, where he still commands a loyal fan base. In 2022, he surprised fans with the quiet announcement of his marriage to a non-celebrity, later welcoming his first child. 4. Jisoo.
자기 이름밖에 몰라요. 원가지.
For a while, Jisoo was everywhere. The dependable second lead fans loved in Angry Mom's Scarlet Heart, Ryo, and Strong Woman Do Bong Soon. By 2021, he finally landed his first big lead in River Where the Moon Rises, and it looked like his rise was set. But just as things were taking off, school bullying allegations from his past surfaced, and the fallout was immediate. Jisoo stepped down after episode 6, and Na In-woo was brought in to refilm the drama from scratch. The controversy didn't stop there. The Seoul Central District Court later ordered his agency to pay about 1.42 billion won, or roughly $1 million in damages to the production company for the disruption. Later, Jisoo clarified that he had personally met with classmates from his past and reconciled the misunderstandings. With his military enlistment already scheduled, he felt he had little choice but to step down quickly, leaving much of the public narrative unfinished. By 2024, he quietly restarted his career, not in Korea, but in the Philippines, where he signed with GMA Network's Sparkle and began taking on local TV and film projects. These days, he seems more at peace, even traveling back to Korea for vacations without issue. 3. Yoon Eun-hye.
가요 가 이것만 더 마시고 갈게요. 너무하는 거 아니에요? 보고 싶어서 하는데 막 바로 쫓아내고.
Yoon Eun-hye's story is the kind that defined a generation of K-drama fans. She first entered the spotlight in 1999 as a member of the first-generation girl group Baby VOX, where she quickly became one of the standout members. But by 2006, she had completely reinvented herself as an actress, and it paid off. Princess Hours turned her into a household name across Asia. Just a year later, she gave us one of the most iconic performances in K-drama history with Coffee Prince. Her role as Go Yoon-chan, the barista mistaken for a boy, not only set new standards for romantic comedies, it also earned her Best Actress at the 44th Baeksang Arts Awards, making her the youngest actress at the time to win, but her journey wasn't without setbacks. Behind the scenes, she clashed with her former agency and later faced a plagiarism controversy on a Chinese fashion show in 2015. Both incidents slowed down her career just when she was at her peak. Even so, Yoon Eun-hye never completely faded away. She has several variety show guestings and even wowed fans in 2022 when she re-debuted as a singer with the project group WSG Wannabe. These days, Yoon Eun-hye stays active on Instagram, sharing updates about her daily life, hobbies, and creative pursuits. But in the K-drama world, she's still on pause. 2. Kim Min-hee.
백장님이 자꾸 포도주를 권하는 바람에.
Kim Min-hee's career is one of the most unusual and most controversial in Korean entertainment. She first drew attention in school too and went on to star in early 2000s dramas like Love Marriage. But unlike many of her peers who stuck with television, Kim Min-hee shifted her focus almost entirely to film. By the mid-2000s, she had completely reinvented herself, earning critical acclaim in projects like Right Now, Wrong Then, and especially The Handmaiden, which solidified her as one of Korea's most daring actresses. But in 2015, she met director Hong Sang-soo while working on a film, and everything changed. By 2017, the two publicly admitted to an affair, even though Sang-soo had been married since 1985 and had a family. The relationship shocked conservative Korea. Endorsements disappeared overnight, her image was heavily criticized, and her mainstream career came to a stop. Since then, Kim Min-hee has worked almost exclusively in Hong Sang-soo's low-budget art house films, becoming his muse and even taking on production roles behind the scenes. The two have been together for nearly a decade, and reports later surfaced that they had a child. Photos of the couple with their newborn made headlines, but instead of warm congratulations, the reaction was largely critical, with netizens slamming the affair, the age gap, and voicing strong disapproval of their relationship. 1. Won Bin.
금리빨 빼고.
If there's a gold standard for vanished at his peak, it's Won Bin. After rocketing to fame with Autumn in My Heart in 2000, he shifted almost entirely to film, proving himself not just a heartthrob, but a serious actor. His last screen role, The Man from Nowhere, became a runaway box office hit and cemented his status as one of Korea's most bankable stars. And then, he disappeared. For the past 15 years, he has become the definition of an ultra-selective, sighting-only celebrity. No dramas, no films, just the occasional CF and almost no interviews. Fans often joke that spotting Won Bin in the wild is rarer than seeing a K-drama time traveler actually return to the present. The most recent update came in February 2025, when he made a rare public appearance to attend the wake of his former The Man from Nowhere co-star Kim Se-ron. Multiple outlets, including Chosun Ilbo, reported on the visit, with fans struck by how little he's aged and how seldom he's seen in public at all. So, where did he disappear to? Nowhere dramatic, just a quiet life, with privacy very much by choice. Every few years, a comeback rumor flares up, but nothing ever materializes. Until that changes, Won Bin remains the most famous what-if in K-dramas. A legend who left at his absolute peak, leaving fans to imagine the masterpieces he might have given us. Every story is different. Some stars stepped away by choice, others because of controversy, and some simply because life had other plans. But tell me, which actor do you secretly hope will make a big comeback? Drop your wish list in the comments. And while you're here, don't stop now. Click on this next video to find out the surprising lives some Korean actors are living outside of South Korea. Trust me, a few of them will really shock you.